And great, it's Larry Asego on a Throwback Thursday. How are you doing? Now, it's time for us to get down to a conversation for today. And I was reading a post on Shiko Mururi's Facebook page, yeah? And after reading it, I called her to ask her actually what happened. So she was explaining to me, and what she said was absolutely hilarious. Well, at least to me, it was absolutely hilarious. So she had gone to have a drink at this club, right? And then the waitress comes over and says, "You're being called." So she's shocked and asked by whom. And amesema ukuje tu. So she's like, "I'm not going to go over to somebody I don't know." And then the waitress goes away. Now the waiter comes back. He's like, "Amesema ukuje." Anatembeanga na helicopter huku kila mahali. He's a guy who is rich and, flies in helicopters. So she says, "No way, just because the guy flies in a helicopter doesn't give him a right to summon me." Anyway, the bodyguard apparently was, sent to summon her. And once again, she said no. Then the alleged mheshimiwa himself came and offered apologies. And I was just, for me, it seemed very funny. I found it absolutely hilarious. So, ladies, let me ask you, have you ever been summoned by an unknown person in a club or whatever social venue for whatever reason? Where they use the waiter or the waitress or a friend and they can't go themselves? Since when did summoning ladies in the club become a norm? Atienda tu anakuita. Has it happened to you before? That's what I want to find out. If so, what did you do? Or is this an isolated case? And gentlemen, guys, really? Do you still summon women in a club? How off is that? Fabulous and Tamia on Classic 105. The song is So Into You, but I can't approach you. Let me use a waiter. Give me a call on 0711-046105 and share your experience. Have you ever been summoned in a club by a guy? I found that story absolutely hilarious. I'm just trying to figure out, is it an isolated case that Shiko went through, or is this something that happens often? Because she just made my evening. We spoke last night on phone, and she was telling me, this guy summoned me. I couldn't believe it. And you're using the waitress. If that fails, the waiter. If that fails, you send your bodyguard. Ati amesema ukuje. And you're supposed to leave your drink, what you're doing, and go and join that person because they've been summoned. Is it an isolated case? Hello, Classic.
Lucky.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Have you ever been summoned in a club?
Please, not the first time. Let me tell you, it's a common thing. Very common and very annoying thing.
Being summoned.
But let me tell you, one time, a waitress approached me. She came to my table and said, "Nimeambiwa nichukue hii bill."
What?
So I asked, "Okay, by whom?" They said, "No, unaitwa na mkubwa." So I says, "Who's mkubwa?" Like, the only mkubwa I know is probably my father and God. So it's like, "Unajua kuna mtu anasemanga no to this guy. Unataka nifutwe kazi." I looked at this girl, I was like, "How much do you earn here?" Then she was like, "It doesn't matter. Lakini unajua tunatianga tipu mzuri. Ebu kuja." In fact, she was very, very rude. So I said, he needs to see me. Let him come. So by the time he came, I was joined by a few other people. And this mheshimiwa walked in, and he was so full of himself. He's like, "What are you guys drinking?" Then he's like, "Ite boy inaka itunanga sana. Naona shida ya unga imefika pia kwa hii meza."
What?
Yes, very rude like that. So we looked at him and we said, all of us said, "Okay, nini mmeficha unga?" Like, it was very disrespectful. He walked away, and then now the supervisor comes to me, intercepted me when I was going to the restroom.
Yeah.
And politely handed me a card. I was like, "Who is this?" It's a plain card with a number, no name. But of course, I identified who that politician was.
Yes.
So I declined the card and I said, "Look, the gentleman was very, very, he was not polite. So I won't take this, and I don't appreciate because I feel like I'm being harassed."
What?
Yes. The guy sat and he got one too many, and finally he gathered some liquid courage, walked to me. First of all, he apologized and he's like, "I'm on my way to Naivasha. Would you like to join us?" Seriously, bluntly, just like that. Larry, it's so funny. I was so upset. I said, "Okay, let me just run with it." So I played along. I said, "Look, sina nguo." So like, and that is a problem in each country. I will buy you clothes. So I was like, you can see a very big ring on my finger. It's like, "Oh, ni maskini gani amekununulia pete cheap hivi?" What? They're very, very blunt and very annoying, and it's a common thing, especially in Harlingham bars and, the like Karen, Harlingham and environs, the leafy suburbs. I don't know of where. I don't understand.
Oh, my goodness. So,
Larry, it's such a common thing. You would want to, like, one time I was very pissed. It's not happened once or twice. It's a common thing. One time I told them, mheshimiwa, inakuuma sana because I don't want to join you, right? Yeah. Please just move to the edge of this table. There is something I can consider a cliff. Throw yourself down because I'm not coming with you.
What?
It is a common thing.
So not once, not twice, severally?
Severally. It's a common thing. I think they just feel like, I don't know, they feel entitled.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey, have you ever been summoned? Spoke to a lady and she's absolutely ticked off by the habit of people summoning her at a club. She's busy enjoying her drink. Well, she's not busy. She's having her drink, enjoying her drink, and then comes the waiter or the waitress. Unaitwa. You're like, what? Yeah, nimeambiwa nikuite. By whom? Mkubwa yuko pale amesema nilipe hii bill. What happened to the courage of just walking up to the lady and talking to her yourself? Ladies, have you ever been summoned in a club? I'ma do this like, 1-2 cases. Is it a common occurrence? Since when did it become okay to summon ladies at a bar? Ladies, have you ever been summoned at a club? Eunice, you say that, yes, it happens many, many times, but I'm there to have my drink. If I needed company, I will automatically come with somebody to accompany me. It's Classic 105 station for good times and great. I'm Larry Asego. I'm wondering if this is a common occurrence of being summoned by gentlemen at the club. Ladies, have you ever been summoned by a guy who is sitting at the corner, sends the waiter, kanitie yule? So there's this waiter or waitress who comes to you. Unaitwa, nimeambiwa nikuite. Have you ever been summoned and did you go? If not, what did you do? Hello, Classic.
Hello, Larry, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah, this is a common occurrence. However, you realize the first lady who called, exactly the first lady who called initially, I've been listening keenly and I've parked beside the road just to answer this, by the way.
Yes.
There was a lot of discrepancy in what she was saying. Because she said, the mheshimiwa came. Then eventually the supervisor handed over the card to her.
Yes.
Where was she at that time?
She was going to the washroom.
They walked out. Then eventually again, the mheshimiwa wants to take her to Naivasha. I mean, you don't have to be a lawyer to know that she's lying. Anyway, another thing I want to say is this. My name is Michael, by the way.
Yes.
Another thing I want to talk about is that women enjoy this. Women love masculinity, authority, and they love men who have a lot of courage and who have money anyway. All those comes in line with the authority. Authority is the ability for you to control what you have as at that time. It doesn't matter the environment. So sending someone to pick a lady or to handpick a lady particularly for you, there's nothing wrong with that.
Wow.
There's nothing wrong with that. And women enjoy it. You realize even she was enjoying the whole thing, the chase and the whole stuff. Right? But they will never admit. They'll say, it's disrespectful is what. It's not that they fear to go. But by the end of the day, they go. By the end of the day, they do what the man wants. And that's what it works. And that's what goes on in the clubs. They enjoy the whole stuff. They love.
Ladies, apparently you enjoy it and you love it. So you should not complain. How true is that? Hey, guy. Have you been summoned?
No, it can be so annoying. Some of them are very, very, I don't know, they're kept begging.
Have you ever been summoned?
All the time, every time. Sometimes I go out and I'm even scared to go to the washroom. Yeah.
Unaitwa na nani?
Kila saa. And because I'm a loner, I go out alone.
Yes.
All the time unasikia to nani is calling you. Atia, you don't know this mheshimiwa. And by the way, if you call me and you are a mheshimiwa, I won't see you. You'd rather be a businessman somewhere. But a mheshimiwa, no.